It's wet. I'm in Pollok Country Park and I'm currently standing in an Iron Age ditch. Now, for some reason, people seem to quite like my previous vlog, so as I was in the park, I thought I would go past the Iron Age fort, because a lot of people might not know that there is one in Glasgow, and because I think it tells at least a little bit of an interesting story. Now, you'll notice behind me that the tree over my shoulder is a lot higher up. That's because on that side is the mound, and if I turn around here, you'll notice the ground's a lot lower. I'm saying this because I realise that on a camera like this, it's quite hard to see quite hard to sometimes see things like mounds. But it's interesting that there's an Iron Age fort that was here. We don't actually, and the interesting thing for me is we don't actually know a huge amount about it. As far as I can tell, that it was abandoned 1,000 years ago, so before the Kingdom of Alaba had really taken off as a going concern. It may have been inhabited by people who view themselves as Brittonics. It might have been inhabited by people 1,000 years before that who viewed themselves as Caledonians, or whatever they actually called themselves, that the Romans, like Tacitus, never actually got to find out. But I think it's really interesting because while you don't know a huge amount about them, what we can at least see is something which I think is quite special, which is what their world was. Now, if you can look behind me, behind the tree, you can see quite a large open space. And so, while there's no sign of what the huts were, the trees are from the times when this was a aristocrat's playground, but we can see the boundaries of their world. We can see the area that they lived in, that they loved in, where their children played in, where they cooked their food, where they ate, where they slept, where they prayed, whether 1,000 years ago, to the Celtic saints, or 2,000 years ago to unknown Celtic gods. And I think that at least brings us a small connection with this distant past. So if you find yourself in Pollok Country Park, I'm not going to say there's a lot to see, but at least there's something to think about. And I hope you enjoyed this, because I'm really enjoyed making these, to be honest. So, I will spam my Twitter thread until everyone gets sick of this. Okay, great, thanks.